How we doing, Lou? We're recording.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. This could go completely wrong. It's time to drop a beat and take a seat and rap about rapping in the podcast heat. We're casting lines, we're dropping rhymes, it's neat, and words and hooks, you're grooving to the beat. Now in the podcast realm, we create, we invent, we're spitting the truth, the comedy, the stories with no consent. With every word, we represent our intent to leave you entertained with the time well spent. We're like DJs with words, craft and rhymes. We're so precise, we're mixing tales and humour and verse to entice in the podcast game, and we're rolling the dice. And we're bringing you content that's beyond just nice. With microphones in hand, we're stepping into the fray with words flowing like rivers and dams our way. Each podcast episode is a gem with our forte with the world of podcasting. We're here to stay. So tune in, the volume up, let's create the symphony of laughter and stories with no debate. It's the podcast rap we appreciate. In the art of words and the common trait, from Joe Rogan to Conan, we're in good company and we're spitting fire like dragons you can't see. Our rhymes are a journey, a roller coaster spree. In the world of podcasting, we're setting minds free. So next time you hit play on your favourite show, remember the rappers behind the microphones will grow. So I'm here with Peter Main and my name's Lewis Williams, and the podcast with each verse we continue to grow, spreading the knowledge and laughter and licking the flow.
Since when did you become Eminem, mate?
I don't know. It was really hard to do. That was really hard to do. If you ever try and do any kind of rap, not that that was a good rap, but if you ever try and do any kind of rap, try and get it to work to the beat of the song. It was so difficult. I gave them my best shot, just something different.
But the thing that impresses me more is when we discussed it last week. You actually do these in like half hour. So you get home from work, you got your routine, you get home from work, then you come up about half hour before we record the podcast and you do your intro. Well, if you've done that in half an hour, that is legendary.
I did. I did. With my mate left his mobile phone with me earlier on, so he had to like pop round to get it. And I was like, you can't pop round to get it because I need to finish this. But I didn't tell him that. But I was like, oh no, I'm not going to have time. I thought I was going to have to just say we haven't got one this week, but that would have let everyone down. So I didn't, and I stuck with it, and I made a fantastically average, poor rap intro to a podcast.
No one asked you to have a perfectly edited rap song for the beginning of the podcast. Maybe that should just be our introduction every week, that little bit of rap.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, we should do it together. It'd be like the Beastie Boys.
It would be terrible, Beastie Boys, I would say. Would you say so? It's
the Seasoners. We call ourselves the Seasoners. We could call ourselves Salt and Pepper, but I think Salt and Pepper's been done.
Salt and Pepper has been done. It's that it was that girl band, wasn't it, that did the Push It Real Good. That's it.
What was Salt and Pepper's DJ called?
Oh, I don't know.
Spinderella.
Oh dear. We start off with some dad jokes.
Mate, no, that's literally the name of the DJ.
No, it's not.
I swear that's the name. Look, this is the hip hop episode, so I'm giving you hip hop facts.
Oh my days, that was hilarious. I'm actually kind of speechless that you've just done that. The thing that people won't realise is that what I have to do is I have to edit it in afterwards to give it the better sound quality. So I hear it come through the Zoom call, if you like, the Zoom call that we do to do the podcast, and I can hear it all, but I can't hear all of it. So it cuts in and out in some areas.
If you're on Zoom, I'm on Discord. How's this working?
Well, yeah. You know what I mean. But for people that are out there that don't know what Discord is, we use
scientific technology,
futuristic technology that probably everybody knows about, but we just make it out to be some sort of special.
If you edit it back in after, can we, when we say like scientific technology, can we add like a funky sound, like a scientific sound, and like we just do it right about now?
We can do.
Yeah.
That's
Can we just add random sounds, random sounds at random times?
In fairness, though, that's the only bit we edit in. The rest of it is one recording. It's just we listen to it live, but then I edit 2 minutes of it into the show. So
Pete's just being humble here, because what really happens, the first couple of episodes, that's what happened. But now we have a team of 70, and they come in afterwards, and we got the tech guys, we got the animation guys, and there's about 70 in total.
Imagine that. Imagine if it was like that, and if it was actually that well edited and broadcast, and we had animators.
Do you know what the advantage would be to that, though?
Go on.
Because have you ever watched these things now, these big like studios or like TV sets, and if there's loads of people around, what's the one thing they all have?
I don't know. What is
cakes?
Cakes.
There's always a place where there's like cakes and food.
Cakes, biscuits, food, the lot.
We'd never want for donuts.
No, we don't. I don't think I could eat a donut.
Everywhere.
I don't think
I love a donut.
Yeah, I love a donut as well, but I don't think it would be the kind of thing that we'd want to. I'd want to be sitting here doing a podcast. I mean, I'm not drinking beer tonight. I'm drinking water because I had a banging headache earlier. But usually I'll be having a few beers and then eating donuts as well.
I'm still off the grog.
And I wonder why I've put on about 3 stones since I've been going into London.
Well, all you need to do, if you want to diet, you just have the ring donuts, don't you? Because the jam's not in them.
And they're actually not a full donut. They're actually 75% of a donut.
Exactly. So if you would normally have like 2 donuts, you're not having 2 donuts. How many would you have? So it's like 3/4 donuts. So instead of having 2, you're having 1.5.
It's like, do you remember? I don't know if we've discussed it before. The polos, but with the mint bit in the middle taken out.
Imagine there's like a warehouse
full of centres of donuts.
full of centres of donuts and polos.
the centre of ring donuts and the centre of polos.
What would the street value be on that?
That would be quite insane, wouldn't it? It'd be quite insane. It's
Where does it go? Donuts are made though. They like squirt them into the fat, don't they? And then they like
and they just do their own. Do you know what? That is the best thing about going to a seaside, buying them.
I know what you're gonna say.
Buying them donuts that are freshly cooked in front of you, and you watch the machine squirt the stuff into the fat.
The washing machine, do you say?
No, squirt. I said the machine. I didn't say the washing machine. Squirt the things into the fat, and then they go along really slowly in the fat, don't they? And you're like, come on, hurry up! It's taking forever. You're waiting for your like 6 little donuts to come out, and then they get a bag. Then they get a bag of sugar, basically, and just chuck it in a bag. I would dread to think how much is in that, like with regards to the what you call it, the calories. Sorry, I dread to think how many calories are in that bag of donuts.
It doesn't frustrate me, but it does. When everyone looks at food, don't they, and they're like, "Oh, it's got this many calories.
It's annoying.
It's got this much whatever in it." They should literally be a fun factor as well.
Yeah.
So like on your chocolate bar, you say like, "This is a 4 out of 5 fun factor." So at least you know what to expect.
Mate, I agree. Do you know, that's the one thing I really dislike with the world today is everything's got calories written on the front of it. Everything's got like, I've got 400. If you eat 100 grams of me, I've got 400 calories in it. Or if you eat 20 grams of me, I've got 800 grams. And like foods, we should be, we're lucky in the country that we live in the countries we live in, that we've got food like that available to us. I don't see why you can't make the most of it, in my opinion.
Well, I do. I eat it all.
but like,
feed me, Seymour.
I say every night. Like I'm really fortunate that I get home from work every night, and obviously I've a long train journey every day, and I get home and Kay cooks me a dinner. She'll cook me something for dinner, and she'll text me during the day and say, "What do you want for dinner?" Generally, she'll text me at like 8 o'clock in the morning before I've even had breakfast and say, "What do you want for dinner tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not thinking about breakfast right now, dinner right now." I'm thinking about breakfast.
How far could you get away with that though?
What
do you say like I want like I don't know. What do you say? What do you ask for?
Well, I don't. So generally, I say to her, look, my words are, and she hates me for it. So I don't mind. I'll eat anything. You know that.
Oh, that's like the but that's like when you first start dating, you're like, do you want to go for food? And they're like, yeah. What do you want? Oh, what do you want?
Yeah. Well, but I always say to her, look, whatever's easiest for you, because I feel bad. Like I'm in London all day. She has to deal with the kids in the morning, and then she goes to work. And then she deals with the kids when they come home from school, and obviously I'm still at work. I'm on the train coming home, and then she cooks the kids a different dinner because our kids are really fussy and they don't eat anything that we want to eat. They always want to eat something different. They never want to eat what we want, and that's one gripe of mine actually. That kids nowadays, if my mum and dad did that, my mum and dad would never ever feed me and my sister something different. If they were having shepherd's pie, you were having shepherd's pie.
Oh, I like shepherd's pie.
If they were having fish and something, you was having fish and something.
I don't like fish.
But you was having it as a kid. Whereas nowadays, I don't know what you're like with Jensen, but we are very much like, oh, what do you want, kids? Oh, you want fish fingers? We'll give you fish fingers, or we'll give you chicken nuggets, or we'll do this, we'll do that. So Key will do some nights. I'll get home and she goes, I've cooked 3 meals tonight. I'm like, why? Why have you cooked 3 meals? And she goes, because obviously the kids didn't want bangers and mash. That's what I had tonight, bangers and mash. So I got home tonight, but this is what I wanted to talk about actually. I had turkey sausages, and I have never ever had turkey sausages. And
well, they're from Turkey, or there was turkey in them?
No, they were turkey meat sausages, and they're supposed to be healthier for you. So I was moaning the other day. I was having a bit of a moan. I went to go work, and I put on my my chinos. I sat down on the stairs to put my shoes on just before I left. And as I went to put my shoes on, sit down, my trousers ripped.
Oh no!
they ripped.
That's the first sign of like stop eating turkey sausages.
It was, yeah, and it was like and they proper ripped, and I was like, for God's sake. Luckily, it was just before I left home, so I run back upstairs, like got a pair of jeans out, put a pair of jeans off when I worked in a pair of jeans, and I said to Key, I said like, oh, I need to get some new trousers because my trousers are ripped, and she was like, well, how did they rip? And I said, well, my fat ass. I sat down and they've obviously it's obviously ripped. The groin's worn out a little bit on them. And between the legs where I've got a bit fatter, and they've ripped. Like the material was really worn. You could see that there was a bit worn. And she laughed, and I said like, I've got and to be totally honest with you, I do feel like since I've been working in London, I've got a bit larger. Like some of my clothes have got a bit tighter, and I said to her, look, I need, because of the time I leave in the morning and the time I get home of the night, I ain't got time to do any exercise. Whereas before, as you know, I was cycling to work every day. And, excuse me. And so I'm eating the same amount of food as what I was eating, but doing no exercise at all. And I said to her, so she said, oh, all right, when I go shopping, I'll look at what I can buy, healthy food and all that. She can't these turkey sausages anyway. The turkey sausages are supposed to be really good for you. There's no like fat in them because turkey's quite a good meat, isn't it?
Is this a plug?
Yeah. And
get down to turkey sausages.
Yeah, but I was eating them and I was thinking, how have they made the turkey taste like pork? that's what I was going to get to. Is there were turkey sausages that taste like pork?
Do they, or is that in your head?
No, they genuinely taste like pork, and I was like, it's really bizarre. So does turkey actually taste like? Is turkey meat actually like pork? And I'm now. I don't like pork chops. I can't stand them. Hate them.
Maybe it's a hybrid.
So I'm really confused. Like now, I'm sort of thinking, a turkey sausage, is turkey actually pork, or I don't know. Like, I've lost my mind. It's just
Do you remember when they had that thing before and it was like horse meat in the supermarkets and everyone kicked off saying it was disgusting?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I don't see like what the difference is. Why everyone was going mad? Like if someone said eat chicken, or someone said eat, steak, beef, or like they said eat turkey, or like it's just another animal. What's the difference? I don't get it.
But is it because, like with horses, they're quite nice animals? Is it because horses are seen as a more friendlier, nicer animal to like a chicken? Or, I mean, turkey is the most ugliest animal in the world. So people eat them. It's probably because they're ugly. You're ugly. I'm going to eat you.
Can you eat like peacocks and stuff? Or is that like banned?
I don't know. Honestly, this is a really good question.
Why is it you have like beef burgers or steak? Then they have like sausages.
Or
bacon.
Is it over the years that people have eaten all these meats? So going back to, I don't know, the caveman era, when they started eating meat or whatever, and they went, well, that chicken's quite nice, but you've got to cook it, because if you eat it raw, you're going to die, or you're going to get poisoned. You're going to be sick.
It probably tasted better when it was warm, didn't it? But like, at what point in time did the caveman go, oh, actually, I'm just going to have a pot noodle? And how does they have like chicken and mushroom pot noodle?
Yes.
Where's that chicken taste come from? Is that like chemicals, or is that like actual chicken?
Well, I always thought, correct me if I'm wrong, there's little chicken pieces in the pot noodle, no?
Ah, another one. Why do they call it pot noodle? Because it's not a pot. Or is it a pot? It's like a plastic thing, isn't it?
Depends what you class as a pot, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it's like it's a really. When
you say pot, I just envision like Uncle Ben's kind of like, cooking, and then like his wife with a massive pot over the stove. But when you say pot noodle, I just think it's a bit of a disappointment when they give you like something, the plastic little cup.
But
you should be able to upgrade your pot noodle to like
glass noodle,
proper China.
China noodle,
bone China noodle. China noodle. A China noodle sounds good.
There's probably something out there that's.
Hey, you laugh. People pay like £6 for a coffee. If it's like 10 quid for China noodle, that could be our new thing. That's better. What's the other thing we come up with? 10 quid. £10 tea. We'll have next to £10 tea in the train station. We'll have China noodle.
but they would be like 20 quid, because every actually, but what you could do
like limited edition ones, and you can like warm your own.
I was going to say, and then if they come back with their China pot, then they get a bit of a discount, because the government.
It's a brilliant idea.
Write that one down. Write that one down.
Because you have like super noodles, and they're in like a little rip bag, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you just have like portable China pots. We need to patent this quick.
Someone listening to
this. Only the 2 followers on the podcast will know about this.
It's all right though. But you're right.
We'll just gain like 13,000 followers overnight, so we have like everyone knows our idea. Then we'll be like legging it to the patent office, won't we? To like fighting over each other to try and get the first patent on the China noodle.
The China noodle.
There'd be broken China everywhere.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's like them bottles of water you can buy that's actually in a glass, isn't it? That you can
What's in the glass bottle?
It's actually a glass bottle, isn't it? And it's like I can't remember what the actual, and it called like Aqua or something like that, and it's in a glass bottle. And
mate, when you said this, I've just had another brilliant idea.
I need to spat me water out there. Go on.
When you have like a pint glass,
Yeah.
And it's like a full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like the ring donut idea, we'll just do like 25% of a where you put your lips, but the top of your bottle of water is like a sippy bit, like a beaker, but it's made out of glass, and we'll call it Glorta.
I will put it in the dictionary as well.
I think I need to work for like Sainsbury's or something, because like we got so far we got £10 tea, Glorta.
We need to, or Starbucks or something like that.
And China noodle.
Yeah. Speaking of glasses, like, do you
got
ever
brandy? I'm telling you.
we call this. Yeah, well, I don't know what it would be called if I'm totally honest with you.
Sainsbury's.
Seeds.
You've already got that name. Mainsbury's food distribution.
Someone said that to me before. Let's go to Mainsbury's. Yeah, that was it. I remember that.
You got to tell people now where Mainsbury's came from, though.
Well, that is, so Mainsbury's is related to when we used to play Call of Duty, and the supermarket in the Warzone map, it was called Mainsbury's. That was the base. There was a name we used to, as anyone who has played Warzone will know, that you fly across in an aeroplane across the top of the map, and then you jump out, and then you land in an area, and then it's the last man standing, basically. They're the rules. But different parts of the map, we gave different names. But the supermarket got named Mainsbury's after me. Those are the days of Warzone, them funky days.
We've lived a life.
That lockdown. There's not all because of lockdown. The hours that people must have spent playing their games consoles and computers over lockdown must be incredible. And
eating turkey sausages on the
barbecue.
Tipping their Glorta. And then having China noodle for tea.
Oh no, it's terrible. But you understand what I'm saying though. Like we were going back to what we were saying about meats and stuff. I just can't understand why people, if you have a turkey sausage, why would you want to make it taste like a sausage? Why would you make another meat taste like another meat? I just don't get it, and that's the thing I can't get my head around.
That's just where we are now, isn't it? Like that's why they have they do other stuff like that, don't they? Like that when you have I bought a bottle of Fanta the other day, and it was blue, and you have to guess the flavour when you drink it. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that. That sounds pretty cool.
It's like you buy a bottle, you don't know what the flavour's going to be, and then you.
It's just for something.
Really bad, yeah. So you open it up, and I think that one tasted like I think it was like blueberry or something.
Convenient, because it was blue.
It could be anything. It could literally be dog shit.
They're not. They're not all. They're not all. They're not all blueberry, are they?
No, you'll give that to a kid. Mum, this tastes horrible. What is it?
Did you ever used to play a game? Not Poppets. It was something else, and that, like not minstrels. They were like they had different flavors of like sweets. It was a bag of chocolates, but there was like orange. Revels? Did you say Revels?
Mate, that's my favourite.
Revels.
Coffee.
They used to play, like when as a kid, you used to play a game with them because obviously, roulette.
And then if you get a coffee, you're like, oh no.
And you like everyone's face when they got the coffee used to be like,
yeah.
Now I love coffee sweets. It must be an adult thing.
It was the adverts. It was two guys and they were playing like chocolate roulette, and then the one guy would eat the one and you go, ooh, coffee.
It's so sad. Like, do you know the thing? I hate getting older because I just think about all the things. Like over the past few years, I've felt older, and I notice things like that, like you just said there. And I think, oh, I remember them days. I remember that.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, it's
with age comes knowledge. Like Gandalf.
yeah, but my knowledge is terrible. We was out. I went. Was walking the dogs with Key the other day. I got home from work and I said to her, "Can you take? Do you want to take dogs for a walk with me?" She said, "Yeah, okay." So I was walking the dogs, and we come back, and then we was talking about something, and do you know when you say a phrase, but it's not the right phrase? So like it was. I can't remember the exact phrase. It was. I can't remember it now. It still confuses me. No holes barred. The phrase.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I can't remember what we were talking about within the context, but I said there's all the bars are hold. All the bars are hold in this one. And she looked at me and went, What? Oh, it was related to the KSI and Tommy Fury fight. And, and it was related to that, and because Alyssa really wanted to watch it, and I said, "Nah, not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not entertaining it. It's a silly fight. He's a professional boxer. He's a YouTuber. Like it doesn't tie up. And in my head, I couldn't see him, and I'm not going to talk about the controversy of it, but I could not see that they would allow a professional boxer lose to a YouTuber in my head, because that brings all sorts of issues to the sport of boxing in my head.
I think they said at the start of that show it's YouTube. They said it's YouTube boxing. They weren't trying to brand it as anything else though. I think for entertainment value, I give it a 10 out of 10. Entertainment.
Yeah, well, the build up and everything, all the build up, as you say, all the build up and everything like that was pretty. There was loads of videos, wasn't there, and loads of stuff.
It's like saying though, like if you went and watched a Premier League game and you expect the best, but like I've watched, like there was one game I seen the other weekend. There was like the under 40s and like the local team, and they were kicking lumps out of each other. Entertainment value is
10
awesome.
out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
But yeah, no, as I say, I mentioned this.
Fit as a pigeon. They're all fit as pigeons.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? And this is you're right in what you're saying. It's like you're paying for the entertainment value of it. The thing that's mad about it is that fight grossed more money than some of the other fights.
Yeah, and they got paid more.
And they got paid more, probably because of
I said fit as a pigeon instead of fit as a flea. Yeah, well, I know a boxer, like I said the other week, and he said his frustration is like some of the fights that were like the lower down fights, they got paid like, I think the minimum pay was like 25 grand. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he said like just some of the boxers that are like pro boxers don't get paid that money.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's the thing that let's go back to what I was saying, is that I couldn't see that for boxing's own what's the word? I can't get my words out, but boxing's own sort of sanity, they were going to allow a YouTuber to beat a professional boxer.
Yeah, but like even his dad said after John Fury, didn't he? Said he's still an amateur himself. He's only had 6 or 7 pro fights or something. I don't know if that's right. I'm guessing. Yeah,
you may be right.
And he's still entry level himself. And like, to be honest with you, I thought that KSI was like hugging him a lot. If I was a proper boxing fight, that wouldn't have been allowed. But again, it's down to entertainment. It's like the WWE, Logan Paul in the WWE is absolutely epic. He is like so entertaining. He's so charismatic, and he is everything that embodies WWE.
Yeah.
So like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But I think
you're right.
I would like to see more of him. I'll be honest with you. And KSI, I'm not a massive KSI fan, but I'll give him 10 out of 10 because he just does what he does, and without him, it wouldn't be as entertaining.
No, so and I get that, and I understand that, and from what I understand of the fights he's had previously, I ain't watched any of his fights, so I don't know. but I don't know what he's like. But yeah,
I got nothing against him. It's only because he's an Arsenal fan. I'm not his biggest fan.
well, yeah, I mean,
Logan Paul. Don't get me wrong, Logan Paul. I bought the wrestling figure from him and everything.
no, you haven't. Have you really?
Special edition. I haven't opened it.
Oh, but yeah. So I was as I was saying. So obviously, I said I have a tendency. Key laughs. I have a tendency to. He's just got the wrestling figure. Oh my days. Can't really see it. Yeah, it's going out. But and I always say these. She laughs at me all the time because I say things that I read them as I see them. So she looks at me and goes, "You're a nightmare." And then she tells everybody like bars no holes or whatever it was I said, and then there was do you know the Noel sign at Christmas that people put up? Yeah. I said to her, and this is God's honest truth, I went to her, she put a sign up in the house. She bought this new sign. It was a reindeer, and it had Noel on the top of it. And I went to her. This is Noel or I went to her, who's Noel? And she went, what? I went, what? There ain't a reindeer called Noel. She said, this Noel, you idiot. And I was like,
oh dear.
Oh right. I did really. I mean, what's Noel? And she explained to me the whole Noel thing. But it's a common thing in my house. I'll say something and she go, that's not the right word for that. And I do it all the time. And she mugs me right off and tells everybody. It's quite amusing.
Well, you do it all the time in Wales, don't they? Like a couple of examples. They say like, "I'll be there now in a minute." Doesn't make any sense. That's not using the King's English properly. We go, whose coat's that jacket?
Whose coat? Yeah, but that one is I remember that one. I can't remember who told me that one before, but
I think they took the mick out of it on Gavin and Stacey. But people say that all the time. People literally say that all the time in Wales. And the other one is, if it depends how Welsh you, they go, oh no, oh no. Oh, aye.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
my dad does. He goes, "Oh no."
You might have realised though that I go, "Yeah, but no," quite a lot in when we're talking. I go,
no.
Yeah, but no."
Oh no.
And Kay goes to me, "What are you doing?" It's like when we watch programs on TV. Kay loves all the Love Island stuff and all that.
Yeah, and Amy does.
And but one of the things that drives her mad is when people go like.
Oh no, I do that. She must say, that's what I say.
And
all the time.
Well, I did it the other day and I didn't realise I was doing it. We were talking and I said like about 5 times in a sentence. And she went to me, "You've just said like 5 times in a sentence. What are you going on about?"
If you listen to the podcast, I say it all the time.
Yeah, but you're not going, you're not saying constantly, but it's quite funny because Kay's English is quite good, so she picks up on all little things like that all the time. So when we're talking and I say something, she's like, "That's not the right word," or "That's not that doesn't make no sense. You've just said like something completely irrelevant to what you're talking about." So
sometimes people say stuff as well, and they like, if you tell them, they get not annoyed, but they're like, "I just said it." Because like my boss, for example, he says literally all the time, and you say something, and then he repeat it and go, like you go like, "Oh, I was really good at this," and he go like, "Oh, I was literally really good at this," and then I look at him and he realizes he's done it again. It's hysterical. He used to. I remember we used to play games and he used to say "what's it" all the time, didn't you?
Sorry, what was it? I just coughed.
You said "what's it" all the time.
What's it? Yeah.
Like that thing that what's it?
Oh, that yeah. The what's it? The what's it over there? The what's it? Yeah. Go to the what's it? What's the what's it? The what's it? You know what I mean? The what's it? Over there. You can't. It's just the way of life, though, isn't it? It's some people.
What's that thing we were laughing at the other day though? When you just like get, those like funny moments and you just like can't stop laughing, and there's like a couple of you, And like the other night, we were playing like Call of Duty, and then we kept on like it was Macho Man Randy Savage's thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Going, oh yeah.
but do you know that? But the thing is, there's. In fairness, I'd had a few beers when we was playing, so like it was one of them things. But when you sometimes you remember things from your childhood, and you know we had the conversation the other week about wrestling and stuff like that. Well, I just that just come into my head. I don't know why, and all I could think about was Macho Man Randy Savage going, oh yeah, because I'd had a few beers. I just thought it was hilarious, and then everyone was saying it. It was just,
it was funny. You know, you said like you tell someone as a kid, and then it sticks with you. Like that can backfire sometimes. I remember when I was a kid, we were going somewhere. I was in the car with my parents, and they were like, it was taking forever because when you're a kid, everything's like that much longer in a car.
Yeah.
I was like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we here? Where are we? And like, I think I asked, where are we? And my mum turned around and said, we're in China, messing around. And then like, it was like 5 years later, we went somewhere and they went, we're going to China on holiday or something. And I like, we've been to China. And then everyone like turned and looked at me and went, we haven't. And I said, no, we have. Remember, we went and we were in the car. We went to China, and they were like, "Oh my god!" We just said that to him to shut him up, and he like literally remembered it for the last 5 years. I thought for 5 years I'd been to China, but I hadn't been at all.
so, what when you is that this like recent? You talked to your mum and said, "Do you remember when we went to China?"
Yeah,
as an adult.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever talking about China? Did you ever go like in your mum and dad's garden? My mum and dad used to allow us to dig holes in the back garden down the bottom. There's a part of the garden they allow us to dig holes and dig as deep as we could. We always used to.
A garden full of holes.
we used to. Oh yeah. We used to go in the garden and like we'd have our friends round, me and my sister. And we go into the garden, and mum and we get a bit bored, and mum would go and dig a hole or something, like go and play with the dirt down the bottom of the garden. So we'd dig a hole as if and think we were going to like China or Australia, but it was. I was about 17, I think, when I used to do it. No, I'm joking. I was about 10, 11, and we used to dig these holes. And my mum and like big hole. It used to be big, like a really big hole. And we used to dig them and dig them and dig them. And we get to like a point where it got a bit clayey and then we couldn't dig no more because it was too hard. But we used to do it all the time and go...
Hit a water pipe.
But we used to go... But I remember as a kid now, really vividly, we used to go, we're nearly there though. We're nearly there. It won't take us long. China. It was about a foot deep. We used to think that we had to dig for it in China.
Oh dear.
Geography wasn't my strong subject at school.
Mine either.
It really was.
Geography, mind. It's all about the meander of the river.
So do you know? So talking about that, then. So thinking about this, then. If you know you've got flat earthers out there, and you got people that believe.
My boss was telling me the other day that he believes the world is flat.
Okay,
I think he was messing up.
So if you was to dig through England and keep digging straight, where would you come out on the globe?
You wouldn't, because you'd hit the lizard men in the middle.
If you kept going past the lizard men, you defeated the lizard men, and then come out the other side through the core, got a bit hot, had a sauna, and then come out the other side.
You'd hit the pyramids in the Antarctica, wouldn't you? That's another story again.
What is on the other side of the world to England? Is it sea?
Imagine if you went right to the other side of England and it's called Dangly or something, and it's exactly the same as England, but everything's back to front.
Well, the flat earthers out there might believe that that's what happens. You go through the core, you come out on the upside down world.
If you go on Google Earth and you put in like Antarctica where they got their space station and you can walk around them, like you could travel on. There's all like alien heads and stuff in the things.
we started discussing this, but I think we was offline when we discussed this before, and it really intrigued me.
It was top secret on that episode, though. It's now like the time's passing. It's like what they call it, releasing to everyone.
Why not really? Yeah, we did. I'm sure we did. We did talk about it after a podcast, didn't we?
I think so.
I'm sure we did, and that's I'm really intrigued by this because there are things out there. There are things out there that I do believe, but I just in my head, like, do you know, Stranger Things? Have you ever watched Stranger Things?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So I've never watched all of it. My daughter loves it.
What's it called?
Upside Down World.
Demigorg.
Or whatever they're called. But part of me thinks that is possible. If he was a flat earther, could that...
Well, that's what they think black holes is, isn't it? It's alternative dimensions.
Yeah, but like we said the last time, no one's ever been through a black hole and come back and said, "There's another world that side."
Mate, if you go through a black hole, Millwall's the top of the Premier League
with a manager, because they've now lost their manager.
You see, David Beckham's going to buy Man United.
I haven't. No. Do you know what? Right? Have you seen his documentary?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So I haven't watched it all yet, but we've watched the first 2 episodes, I think.
How can you not like David Beckham?
Well, was exactly what I was going to say. Is the bloke is an absolute legend, but obviously you're a Welsh fan, so you probably wouldn't care so much about the goal he scored for England against Greece. But I remember that day really vividly, and then when we was watching it, and I remember saying to my father-in-law, because it was 2000, 2001, something like that. I remember watching the game. I think it's 2001, wasn't it, for Euros 2002 or whatever it was. And I remember saying to my father-in-law, Beckham is everywhere in this game. He is like really trying really, really hard. And obviously he scores that goal, and it just brings back like just some of the things on there. I remember it. I used to be I was always a massive Beckham fan. Like, absolutely loved everything about him. I used to buy the boots that he wore when I used to like
Preds.
Yeah, do all that, try and play like him and all sorts. And he's just an absolute unbelievable player.
He's played for Man United, played for England. He's really rich. He's really famous. And he's sexy timed Posh Spice more than once. What a legend.
I mean, I need to watch the rest of it, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But
it's good because he goes into some of the darker stuff later on. It's really good.
Well, but that's the thing with all these people, is that you don't see what we don't realise, and this is something that we could probably sort of end the podcast on, but you don't realise the impact of your words to people sometimes, or your actions. So, and you watch that episode, or watch them see that series, and he talks about some of the things like with Glenn Hoddle when he drops him in the World Cup and stuff, and there was no reason for him to be dropped. Realistically, he was the best player in the team at the time, and
you haven't seen the bit yet when he was dropped at Real then
at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Well.
No.
Mate, it's amazing.
So, but like some people would, and I think the moral of the story is that you just got to prove to people, and this is something we always tell our kids, you got to prove to people that you are the best. And a lot of players and a lot of people in the world, if them sort of things happen to them, they'd be like, you know what, sod it, I ain't doing it no more, and I want to move. But with him, and he did it with Man United, and he did it with England, and he did it with Real Madrid, as you said, and he never let people get him down, and he always like proved
look what he's
people
done
wrong.
to Miami.
Yeah,
I know it's like American soccer, but like, look what he's done. He signed Messi of all people, and they're winning games left, right, and centre. It looks really good. The image of the club's good. If he gets, I don't think he buys Man United, But if because there's like a consortium, isn't it? What they call it?
Yeah.
But he'll make an impact there, won't he? He'll turn it around as well. He's just like that type of guy, isn't he? The guy makes honey of all things.
I know. I see that. I thought that was amazing.
What doesn't he do? It's almost annoying.
Yeah, he's and the thing is, like with him, you got to and I was to say what I was my kind of the moral of it is you really got to, if you set your mind to it, then you can do anything. And that's the bottom line, isn't it? If you set your mind to it,
you're flying. You can't fly, no matter how hard you think about it.
Within reason.
Yeah,
within reason.
But don't run. No one run off a building and pretend to fly because that'd be really bad.
If you set your mind to it, you can do anything, and that's what I think that documentary kind of proves. Is that he was a hard-working person, and he was dedicated to his sport, and he was dedicated to what he did. And do you know what the thing I liked is, this is what I said, the key, he's like him, and people really knock him and Victoria's marriage, don't they?
Yeah, but I think they're proper in love.
I was going to say that. That's exactly as I see it on the documentary. He was obsessed with her, like, and she was obsessed with him when they were youngsters, and I think that's really good. That's a side that you don't see. It might be a bit cameratized, but it looks. There's the things he says, like he wanted to. He hit the World Cup when they got knocked out. After they got knocked out, he flew out to New York or wherever it was, and all that. You know, that's insane, and it proves, I think, how much he does like her or love her.
Gary Neville's quite funny on it as well.
I think people with Gary Neville, I think people mug him off a little bit, don't they? I actually quite like Gary Neville as a person. He's quite.
I think as a pundit though, he invites it a bit, doesn't he? Did you ever see the thing when he was at Hotel Football, and something happened before. It was on YouTube, and Arsenal Fan TV called out Gary Neville and mocking him. And in fair play to him, and all the Arsenal fans will probably agree to this. Like he said, "All right, I'll have a session and I'll answer all your questions." And they all came. He invited them all to Hotel Football, and they had Jamie Carragher there as Gary Neville, and they just sat down and talked to him. And afterwards, they were like, "We respect you so much for doing that," because it was like a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, no one does that for us, do they? Like,
no.
Wants to ask us any questions?
when we when we launched China Noodle,
when we launched the £10 tea, the China Noodle.
Yeah.
We might become. We could pitch it in Dragon's Den.
Hey, we'll pitch in Dragon's Den.
We're here today.
We'll go by Millwall and get a new manager for you.
We're here today to pitch our two ideas. We're after £50,000 for 10% for 10% of the company.
No, this is what you do. You say we got three ideas. We got Glorta, we got £10 tea, and we got China pot. And we explain it all, and they say, "How much money do you want?" They say, "How much?" Pete and Lewis, you seem to have valued your business at £30 million. Like, yeah, they say, "Well, where have you got that number from?" I say, "I'm glad you asked that question. I've also built this time machine. When that's not for sale, but we can see in the future that it's worth millions." I'd love to tell you more, but unfortunately, we got this from the middle of the earth with the lizard people.
And we're not going to tell you what Dragon actually invested.
Yeah, we can't tell you this yet.
We can't tell you what Dragon invested in our venture. What's it? So anyway, mate, I think on that note we should wrap it up.
What's it up?
And yeah, don't forget you can email us on seasonedhumour@gmail.com, where you can ask us questions and we just talk. We'll answer them and we could talk about them.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll see you in the next episode, which is a Halloween special and may be done live.
So if you want to see me and Pete dressed up as spooky, then watch on YouTube as well.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.